because from next week we're going to start projecting the live show onto the side of the pyramid. So
someone will still need to press the buttons, though, won't they?
yeah, you're going nowhere, mate. We'll still need you. Yeah, you're future proof. You are
with my index finger.
Fastest index finger in the SK postcode.
Hey, maybe we'll get a few Chesterfield watchers tonight. Maybe. Right, let's kick off. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty! Oh, what a beauty! I'm waiting all my life for that! What a screamer!
Hello and welcome to the Scarf Bagara War, the show that takes everything you thought you knew about Talking County and turns it on its head until we're left with this, whatever this is. Yes, it's your weekly helping of county stuff coming at you via live stream, catch up, or as a podcast. I'm Nick Lee, sponsored tonight by Tramadol and codeine. Tramadol and codeine, Jesus. Oh, you're going to have a good time. Oh, God, awful business. Now I've just accidentally outed myself as a drug addict when I'm not. Awful. Anyway, who's that? He'd definitely kick a cat if he could get away with it. It's Russ Johnson. Yeah, right, mate.
I'll do. I'd kick your cat. No, I wouldn't. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, well, that's where I was going to go because when I wrote that bit, me and my cat were having a bit of a powwow because she's like my co-writer, obviously.
I could tell.
And I said, well, every time I bring up the cat on the podcast, Russ is never interested. And then she did make the point and said, well, maybe it's because it's a county podcast. Maybe it's not the place. But I was like, no, it's fucking going in that.
Fair enough.
How are you anyway? You all right?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right.
You've had a great week, haven't you? You had your birthday last week and you've been on corporate and stuff, haven't you?
Yes.
Lovely, aren't you?
Yeah. We could talk about corporate in a bit, probably. It was all right. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, met some people. Good. Yeah. How's that doing? So tonight, what have we got for tonight? Well, we're going to talk about the Dover match. Chesterfield, obviously, last night, because not a lot happened there against Chesterfield. We're going to talk Cheshunt and the FA Trophy. We've got a preview, bit of an interview with one of the Cheshunt Ultras coming up for you. And then we're going to talk a bit about the academy as well, because we've got Mark Brockbank with us. Welcome, Mark.
Evening, chaps. Evening, all.
So just to preempt that academy chat, you're not just here for that. You're a county home and away goer, as we all are. But your son also plays in the academy.
He does, yeah.
So we will deep dive into that much later. So yeah, I mean, should we run the titles and kick off the other titles we've got? The other ones, yeah. This is the Scarf Bagara War, a Stockport County fan-created podcast, blog, YouTube live show and website. Find us at thescarfbagarawar.co.uk. For county fans, by county fans. And before we start, we've got to say hello to everybody that's watching live. All the usual names are there. Again, too many to mention. Thank you for joining us. The numbers are going up each week, which is really good for us. So cheers for that. If you haven't already, do subscribe. And if you're listening on the audio back on whatever podcast player you're listening to, please give it us a follow. So yeah, Dover on Saturday. Let's do chronological. Dover on Saturday, and then we can work our way forward. Then.
Well, you started with 3 words there. Dover on Saturday. I'm going to counter with another 3 words. Spennymoor at home. It was very, very Spennymoor at home, wasn't it?
Oh, do you know what? I've not given it that much thought in terms of that, but yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah.
I can see that.
I'm off, lads. Cheers. That's me done. Give me a shout when you want to wrap up.
So go on then. We can't just say that and drop it. Go on, give us more. Give us more about. Is that it?
Just banging against this brick wall, because it's not like it's not like the red card changed anything because Dover was still going to play the same anyway. They set up to get a point.
Yeah. If anything, it was made harder that they got someone sent off.
Yeah, just nasty, horrible, anti-football. But when you're in that position, what else have you got? Like, I think saving their football clubs, I think, is more of a priority than that, isn't it? At the moment.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Ken Boxall to announce that the ball boys have been changed from whoever it was, Stockport Dynamos, to Johnson and Palmer in the second half, because that was basically their job, to just go and fag the ball again, bring it up to halfway and set us off. It was the most ridiculous literal half of the football pitch that you've ever seen, because it was just go and get the ball again, lads. We need to start again. Bizarre.
They defended resolutely, though, didn't they? I mean, at one point we were thinking it wasn't going to go in for us, weren't we? Which would have made Tuesday very interesting.
Did Dover defend better with 10 men than Chesterfield?
Well, the statistics will say yes.
Yeah.
I think they did.
Yeah. I would say they did.
I suppose Dover are used to having to defend for 90 minutes every week, though, whereas, maybe Chesterfield is a bit more of a novelty. Same with us, really, I suppose.
Is it a White Cliffs mentality, do you think?
Yes. That's what you get for basically being in the French league, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they defended well, and I took I had to think about it. I took like the words that Hessenthaler said last time. I think he said that when he played us in an empty stadium, if it had got to 0-0 at our time against his team, we'd have got on their back. We'd have got on our team's back, and it would have made it a bit different.
He's not the first manager to say that this season as well.
No, he's not. It's coming up quite a lot now. This thing of we will get on our team's back when things aren't going well for us. So if it's 0-0 against Dover at half time, I didn't get the sense of that on Saturday. I don't know about you. Did you get at half time Dover on Saturday? Did you get the sense that we were on their backs? I didn't. We
there was a little rumblings. I'm upper tier 3, not that bit of upper tier 3, just in front. But there was a little rumbling in there.
How's the back of your head? Is it okay?
It's all right. There's a few scars, bottle marks. I feel like I've had a laser pen shot a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There was one or two, but nothing like, it wasn't like full on booze, which you wouldn't expect, would you, from a team that's won 9 on the spin at the time. But yeah, I just thought about that he said that, and it wasn't the case, and we still went on to win the match, which was really pleasing. We just huffed and puffed, didn't we? And eventually it went in. that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if we do end up going up at the end of the season, sorry, when we win the league at the end of the season, that's Paddy Madden's pretty much going to have paid for himself with that goal there.
It could prove crucial.
I mean, the dynamics are going to change a fair bit still in the next few months. I think there's still a lot of mental stuff to go on, I think. But yeah, it's going to be mental.
Well, we'll come on to that in a bit. But something that Si Lomas says is probably a good point, actually. The team has earned our patience to know there's always a way to find a win. Under Rusk, it felt like it was game over once we conceded. I totally go with that. I think.
Can you stop agreeing with Si Lomas? Because
it seems to be Si all the time, doesn't it? I don't know why.
It gives him a big head. He talks so much. For an absolute idiot, he talks a lot of sense.
But it is, and I don't know about everybody else, but certainly from my perspective, and my throat is going from a mixture of last night and too much alcohol over the weekend. But it's as soon as we had that Bolton game with 2-2, straight away, you just felt it like a sort of pivot. It felt like that was, even after that game, he's got credit in the bank. They all have, they all deserve our patience now. Whereas under Rusk, obviously, for what well, let's not go into that, but we know how that went. So, yeah, Dover match. I mean, I did the prawn sandwich bit, which was pretty good. Paid me money, had me meal, sat in the posh seats with the pads, and gotta say, won't be doing it very often. I prefer it.
To give you sanitary towels. What do you need them for? Is it an emergency mask?
Additional burger.
I thought it was going to be a scathing review of the food there, Russ, but it's just the fact that you prefer being... I've always said that. If I was a multi-millionaire, I'd go and stand with the fans. Yeah. I'd be in there, in the thick of it, not in the posh seats. No, not for me.
Never done it.
I like a good swear as well.
You can still swear.
I don't know. Mind you, yeah, after that knobhead from Fylde came that year, then yeah, you can do what you want in a director's box, apparently.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. No. I mean, the view was okay, at the side, but it just felt a bit sanitized. To come back to the metaphor, the analogy. It did. But my lad really enjoyed it. He got his burger. They sorted that out.
Fussy eater, isn't he?
Yeah.
What was he meant to be having? What was it? I want to know what he turned his nose up at and went. No,
hold that thought. I'll get I've got the menu here.
Oh, this is very exciting. This is the deep dive.
This could make or break corporate for every podcast.
Here we go. Here's what we got as a starter. So we got creamed leek and potato soup, soft garlic and chive cream, and olive oil crouton. He didn't eat that. He's a 13-year-old lad that likes football. Okay. So mains: oven roasted free-range chicken supreme, dauphinoise potatoes, rich bourguignon sauce. I don't know. Braised chantilly carrots and baby onions. And then dessert was dark chocolate.
Go and try that again, Russ. Please try that word again.
Dessert was dark chocolate mousse, white chocolate ganache, and raspberry and vanilla chantilly. Yeah, Dan had burger and chips. So
plebs. You give people nice things.
I had it all. Of course I did, yeah. Bit disappointing that the pudding was served at half time. Because they'd not done it quick enough to get it out and things.
That's pint time, half time.
So
and was a drink included, Russ?
No, nothing.
Oh, after last week as well.
I know.
The thoughts, I know.
So yeah, it was good. I got to meet Nelson Da Costa, which was good.
Yeah, I bet you didn't expect to be saying that.
No, didn't. I know.
That was a blast from the past, wasn't it?
Which was nice. So that was Dover. Anything more about Dover before we move on?
Well, thanks for the memories, Dover. We'll never have to play you again, most likely. Now, well, we won't, because they'll be getting relegated at very least, won't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, we won't be playing you in the league again. Cheers for the memories and all the varicose veins. Thanks for the
particular memories, Nick.
Them shithousing out of last season was a particular high point.
Frank Mulhern's goal.
Yeah.
Frank Mulhern's goal. Yeah, that's the lot, isn't it? I think did they one of the clubs who did a really awful stream as well last season? Were they one of the really bad streams, Dover?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. They could have been. Take your pick, really, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, but so many memories to choose from.
I thought their keeper took shithousery to an extra level on Saturday. To be fair, with the goal kick from one side, goal kick from the other side, yeah, seen all that. But the inviting the centre halves in to play and then now shooing them away, and my lad goalkeepers union spoiled after 3 minutes. And he did it another good 20, 30 times. And referee didn't spot it, of course. No. Never.
Well, there's a lot of stuff referees don't spot, as we'll find out when we get onto last night's game.
What do you mean, Nick?
Well, I mean, just keeping with the keeper thing. That's keeping with the keeper thing.
Yeah,
that should be a new feature. Keeping up with the keepers.
Keeping up with the keepers. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. We'll go on to Chesterfield properly in a bit, but the Chesterfield keeper, that run, the extent of the run. He's
so the corner flag.
I've gone past the ball. It's gone up for a goal kick, and I'm just going to run and just jog to a slow stop at the corner flag. And even the ref went, "You're taking the piss now," and gave him a yellow card for that. So,
but it's always 95th minute when the keeper finally gets a yellow for time wasted. No matter how long he does it, it's like 96th minute
96
when he gets
to be
it.
Precise. Last
night. Well, what's the point in that rule then? What's the point?
Never going to get sent off.
No.
Anyway,
right.
back to Dover. What?
Just get the bottle throwers from the top of upper tier 3 to stand behind him and throw stuff at him. That'll get him moving.
Back to Dover. One last memory is the piss up that a lot of our fans went to Dover for a piss up, bit of a beer run. Not to Dover, to Calais, and then back to Dover. Yeah, I never did it myself, to be fair, but it's probably a lot of fun. That
I'm not allowed in mainland Europe without an adult, so I couldn't.
Well, you'd have been with adults though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but they've got to sign paperwork and stuff. No one's willing to have it like legally backed up. People are quite happy to say I'll look after him, but when like the legal people can call it, it's like, whoa.
I think you have to put the word responsible in there as well, and then
that turns people off. Turns me off.
Right, Chesterfield then. The big matches today. Again, let's try and keep it in chronological order. So should we start with the march before the match? I couldn't get to it, although I've seen footage of it. I think you did, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, I was in there towards the back. Harry down the front, absolutely outstanding job, sir. Absolutely outstanding. Cannot, praise you enough for what you did to sort that out. It certainly set the night off. Shame that so many people on social media think we did that after the game, though, celebrating a 2-2 draw. Yeah. So
I think the Chesterfield fans probably did.
Yeah.
Well, they can think what they want, can't they? I loved how it was organised. The police were informed. Got everybody together. The drum was out, and it was just done proper, wasn't it? It was just done proper.
Yeah.
More of that, please.
Yes. So hats off to Harry and the lads that did that.
I don't know if anybody spotted it, but I think right at the beginning, at the top of Castle Street, when there was a young mother in a top window, nothing like that, guys, with a small child, actually actively encouraging her small child to join in with the songs and so on, rather than shouting, "I'm trying to get her in bed, fuck off," kind of thing.
Emmerdale's on, do you mind?
Yeah, outstanding,
top stuff. Yeah, and more of the same. And it gets the uninitiated fans that, shall we say, into the right crowd, getting him sort of initiated, I guess, into what it means to be a county fan and how you should behave really, and what it's all about. And it's not about throwing stuff from the back of the stand or laser pens or running on the pitch to do an e-slide. It's about doing it proper. And I often think when we had our protest, the sit down in the centre circle. Oh yeah. That was organised. It was done properly. It was there to disrupt the match. It was there to get on the telly and make it known that we were serious. And I've seen so much after that, like with Oldham and things, where it's literally just and United, breaking into the ground, just being idiots and doing things a bit, just for the opportunity. It's opportunistic. Whereas this, like we've done before, and like Harry's done yesterday, it was spot on. But yeah, that was the march, and then the queues coming into the ground. I got, it was just pandemonium. Even at kickoff, there was a massive queue outside. It was just great to see a full house, 10,200 and something, I think.
Yeah, highest league attendance for league fixture since Leeds, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, highest midweek since we played City.
Yeah.
I think with that in mind, we should also add that 7,000 at home to Dover on Saturday, 17,000 at Edgeley Park in the space of 4 days. Unbelievable times.
Wasn't expecting that against Dover. That's such a high attendance.
No, I wasn't when I was parking the car somewhere near Cheadle Hume to try and walk to the game. Not genuinely that far away, but it felt like it.
I had to think then, is that where you park?
No.
It's like Mark, I get this off him whenever I say whatever I say. I get this off for us. It's just, blank looks.
Actually park further away than I live.
Well, you can get the old. Cause I was restricted to Strawberry commentary because of being on my deathbed. I'm fine. Thanks, Russ. In case you're wondering. John Kieran Bingo was on. Oh, it was the game to play last night. I thought he was going to have an aneurysm at one point with the fourth official. He got very snarky about the fourth official, which was hilarious. And then again.
Who was co-comms last night, Nick?
It was Liam Richardson.
Right.
So I hope Liam is like fully trained in CPR because I genuinely thought he was going to have to perform it on John at some point. Yeah. It's going that way. We got the I don't go that far on my holidays. We had a bit of that. So always good when he breaks that one out. It's been a few years now. So, something special is happening in Stockport, which is a new one on the. So a wild night. Wild
histrionics. That will come out. Kidology.
I didn't have these on my card, but they may well have done. I weren't looking out for them. If you told me, I would have done.
I tell you what we'll do. Well, we should make a special John Kieran commentary bingo card, and we'll present it to him. Not like taking the piss, but he's that ingrained in like the fabric now that we know what his commentary is going to be. And
but then maybe he'll become all self-aware. Then not like he's not already self-aware. It's not like he's a robot, and this is going to bring him to life. But, I mean, like what's his face, Chris Packham on like Spring Watch. And he started like sneaking song titles into like his reports and stuff like that. And it's just like, I like Challoner with the cheers, thank you.
Yeah,
because he knows we like it.
He knows
it's
like,
this isn't as good now. You're taking
it's never going away. That
never.
Love it. So the match itself, I was quite surprised that Hippolyte started. I know Sars was out anyway. He was touch and go. Quite surprised Hippolyte started. And quite surprised that Keane wasn't involved at all, unless he's injured, and I'm not.
He's had a bit of an injury from overuse. It was a few weeks ago, so they were keeping an eye on Keane. But I mean, he was there last night anyway. But
Keane played at Nantwich last week in the Cheshire Cup.
Yeah,
so he's clearly in the thoughts and. Yeah, I was a bit surprised. Hippolyte did okay against Dover when he came on, but it wasn't like he's got to start. But what he did last night, not too bad. Certainly was one of the tidier players first half, I thought. But bit of a concern some of that first half that we just could not get going.
Well, let's get into that first half then, shall we? Let's deep dive into the first half. I noticed, well, everybody noticed, they turned us round and we were playing into the wind first half, and Challoner's post-match said, well, that doesn't really matter. We both got the wind, all that sort of stuff. I think it changed the way we had to play. It certainly changed the way I think they were hoping for that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen loads of people commenting on the fact that the ball just spent a lot of time in the air first half, and it's not our game. It's not how we play. Yeah. We probably needed Quigley to really come to the party in a game like that first half, with us having to play that way. And I thought he was way off it last night, to be fair. Maybe the pen early on, which obviously Mr. Challoner's mentioned in the... post-match. We couldn't get going. Couldn't play. Couldn't get the midfielders on the ball.
That's it, yeah.
Couldn't get high enough up the pitch.
No, and Crowsdale and Collar were trying their best to have aerial battles. If it wasn't bypassing them, they were being forced or asked or whatever to have aerial battles, and they were just losing out.
They matched us up in midfield, and with this current set of three at the back and the three that we're choosing at the back, our three had the most of the ball. They're not the three we want on the ball. They're not the three, and there was just no way to go. I saw a comment, I think it was Jake Smallwood earlier, about Johnson. I think he's great set pieces, great. Yeah, defensively, I think he's possibly improved us. But Kitching takes the ball at midfield, moves a midfielder of theirs around, frees up a little triangle. To be fair, Keane does the same on the other side. I'm not saying Hogan shouldn't be in there. I'm not saying Johnson shouldn't be in there. But last night it showed that we had three defenders who just wanted to stay this side of everything going on. That's how it felt to me, anyway.
Yeah. Did you just as an overall half? Did you think that's the worst half we've played since Rusk left?
Possibly. Maidenhead wasn't much better, was it? First half,
True.
And they threatened us a lot. They just looked like they were running our defence ragged a little bit as well. You know, they looked a threat. First goal, is it offside? Apparently not. I've seen a picture on one of the National League pages replying to one of my claims that it was, and it looks like I think it's Southam Hales has dropped in and played him on. Challoner mentions in the post-match that he wasn't happy with Palmer and Johnson for that first goal. Yeah.
Well, then for the second, did he mention Southam Hales? He didn't mention Hogan for the second, did he? I thought Hogan was at fault for the second.
He mentioned Southam. Didn't he mention Southam Hales pressing for the crowd, basically?
Yeah. And he did. He did. He flew at the keeper, and the ball went straight back down. Hogan's header under pressure, was he pushed? Goes straight to the right wing back position, and
he's
not there, shot. Yeah. Hinchliffe should do better. Keepers Union. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah.
But he should.
Yeah. But that's two. And Challoner said it on his post match, didn't it? It's multiple errors that cost the second goal. So as those goals went in, Gazek says that the reaction when Chesterfield scored from the Cheadle was immense. Even the majority of the lower tier stood up and gave encouragement, goosebumps moment that. And it was. I don't know if that came through on the radio, Nick, but it certainly was in the ground. It was.
Yeah, definitely.
It was. It wasn't goosebumps for me, but I just thought, come on, let's do this. We need to get back into this. It was determination.
Which was Bolton-esque, wasn't it? You know,
I was just going to say, if Saturday was spending more at home, then... In fact, no.
Last night was Bolton without the extra time, Nick. Last night was Bolton without the extra time.
Yeah.
In quite a lot of ways. Yeah.
We nearly had one half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Officials, first half.
Well, we're going to get onto the goal that wasn't. John and Liam on commentary were adamant. They watched it. Even the assessor came and watched it. Then, which leads. I was messaging a friend of the show, Dave Long, at the time, and I said, "Well, if the assessor goes to tell the referee, no, I'm not joking. The assessor genuinely was.
Oh right.
He was generally sat behind Liam and John, and he watched it. He watched it on the laptop. So you can only imagine he's gone and told the referee at half time, You've made a cock up here, pal. And I said to Dave Long, friend of the show, I said, he'll be looking to even that out first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Bang. There we go. And he did.
He did, He leveled the sides, didn't he? It was 11v11 once that. Well, no, it was once he'd send it off, it was.
I think as well as the big call, I think friend of the show, Sam Byrne, has also called it in that it was the dithering, it was the inability to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know, that goal that wasn't, whatever, comes about or doesn't come about because the linesman can't make a call, the ref can't make a call. They look at each other, and at that point, there's no way that's going to get given. and it's the liner that's got to see it. You know. But it was the dithering, the inability to make the call. And just weak, really weak.
We where we sit, we can see the manager's touchline. You know, that touchline all the way down. Their left-sided player hit one out, and it clearly bounced over the line for our throw-in and down into the corner. Liner didn't even give it. It's like, what are you watching? I think at that point, Challoner's like putting his hands to the floor, going that it bounced out of the pitch. Why are you not? How can you not see that? And then later on, I think it might have been Hippolyte that had a shot. It came off one of their players for a corner, and he pointed for a goal kick.
Yeah,
and like I was incensed, and I was jumping up, going, "How can you? I've seen it. I can see it from here, and you're closer. How have you not seen that?"
And of course, apparently glasses were thrown, but not of the beer variety.
Yeah, I saw that.
Them wanting up at tier 3 again, is it?
Yeah. It's a far throw, that. Bloody hell.
They brought bloody Jeff Capes along with them.
But yeah, I heard the glasses had been thrown. But yeah, the officiating was just poor throughout. I personally think that I thought it was a red card. I thought he was out of control. I've seen it back. I've seen it since, and I maintain it. I thought it was a red card.
It's a modern day red, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell me all the things, I can go on about, not in my day and all that, but that's a modern day red. There's one in the academy game today, fought against County. They had a player sent off in the academy game, almost identical. Yeah.
It's a very common challenge that nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
It's what a lot of red cards be given. But if players aren't going to look at the rules and look what's being cracked down on, what can you expect?
Yeah.
Similar to the one on Saturday as well. It's like you're asking for trouble. It's all well and good saying it's just more missed time than anything. But if you're going in with your leg like that, then you're asking for the referee to make a decision, especially when the referee is going to be looking to even things up a bit anyway.
Yeah. And it's all about that excessive force, and there was absolutely no doubt that was excessive. He's absolutely flown into that challenge. Old Jeff King, hasn't he?
Yeah. So I think we're all in agreement. It was a red. I mean, are we going to say any different because we're all County fans? I don't know, but
But
I mean, it's one of them ones where
claiming it wasn't. But,
it's one of them ones where if it wasn't given, you'd understand. But I think going back to a chat that probably took place at half-time with an assessor, or you've got to understand, Challenger's got to make it his business to make sure that ref knows that he's screwed up first half. Yeah. Whether it be one of his coaching staff, quiet ear in the assessor, whatever, you've got to make it your job to let the ref know in a relatively calm way, that, you messed up there, ref, I'll leave you to it, mate. And human nature probably just about took place. But then he then thinks, right, I've evened it up. I'm not giving him anything else.
Well, we'll come to some of that stuff later on in the second half. What I did notice as well, which would really, honestly, it really boiled my piss, and it does no matter. I love it though, but I love it when they started time wasting when they were 2-0 up after 30 minutes or whatever it was, 25, 30 minutes. You could see they started to slow down with everything, throw-ins and all that sort of stuff.
That's the difference between them and us. We're ruthless. We're 2-0 up. We're going for 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
That just shows the mentality that they're, and that's what will get them in trouble. That's what will stop them winning the league, not being ruthless like that. You mark my words. Yeah,
it was almost like they just started the shithousery early for me. And then that started to sort of drift into the fan base in the second half when every time the ball went into the crowd, they didn't give that ball back.
I love to see that, mate.
Another one was put on, and then they'd throw the original ball back. Which, if that's us, it's great, and that's what you do. And I get it. But when you sat there and you're in the moment, it proper does your head in, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Piss boiling at its highest temperature.
But second half, second half, even before the goal, I think. Even before the red card, it looked like we were starting to play our own game a bit more. And I put that down to the wind. And I know other people might not, but I put that down to the wind that's behind us, because that does play a factor as far as I'm concerned. And then obviously you had the red card, and it is like the Alamo, then, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't until we equalised, and then we decided to that'll do us now. Let's sit off and not really push on. And it was almost like, right, we've got 30 minutes left to win this. Let's not go too soon. And then we didn't really go at all. There was not a lot impetus after the equaliser. There was moments, of course there was. There was one in the very last moment, of course, which I'm sure we'll come to. Yeah,
and in fact, just looking at the comments, a few of the other shithousery things. Edgy. Chris Edge says they got the stretcher on, and then he walked off.
And apparently wanted to carry on.
Yeah.
Cut it there post match.
But his reaction when he went down as well, it looked like he'd done something serious, and the physio ran on. She ran on really quickly, and she's like, she was almost fretting about his situation. Then the calling on the stretcher, and I'm thinking, he must be hurt. He must be really hurt, this lad. And then he just gets up and walks off. It was a bit like we played earlier in the season under Rusk, and a lad went down as if he'd cardiac arrest or something, and then just got up and walked off. It was that, I can't remember who that was, but
it was really. I think it was the first game of the season. I think it was the Dagenham game, because the Ericsson thing was still like fresh in the mind. Because when it happened, I was like, "Oh shit, that's not good. Something's happening here." And no, he just got straight up. But he went down. Honestly, I remember that vividly. Went down like he'd collapsed. Weird.
Yeah.
So I don't mind shithousery, but there's borderline sort of.
It was every type of shithousery, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
The shithousery bingo card was full.
Yeah, it was the inevitable. Wing back picks up the ball knowing that a wing back hasn't taken the throw in all day, and he's going to wait 20 minutes and then give it to the centre half, who's going to ask the ref, "Where do I take it from?" Oh God, come on!
Yeah, it was everything.
Yeah.
And then fans wasting time. The players were wasting time. It just, I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to sound bitter, but with everything that we spoke to the lads last week about on the Chesterfield, with the lads from Chesterfield on our podcast, it just feels like it's all the way through the club, doesn't it?
Yeah,
top to bottom.
Yeah. And then they're all commenting today, you had an extra 10 minutes. I actually think we could have had at least another 5 or 10 on top of that. If that board had gone up and said 25 minutes, no one would have been overly shocked.
No. And then...
That says it all about the... Go on.
No, I was going to say, at the end, they celebrated like... They celebrated like they'd lasted for that long at 0-0.
They celebrated got a consolation against Chelsea.
I mean, it's now a box set, isn't it? They're going to bring those two together, the Chelsea celebrations and the We Got a Point at Stockport DVD box set. It's a must, isn't it? Yeah.
They've won the Got a Point at Stockport Cup. Wrexham have won the Tuck 2000 to Stockport Cup. And that's the only silverware them two will both be getting this season.
It just reminded me of a club that, where it's towards the end of the season. There's maybe 4 games left. They've just got a really good point away from home against a rival, and that tips the championship, the league title, in their favour. And they're all fist pumping, going, "Yes, that's like the really, that's the tip, really. That's the tipping point for the league." It's February. They were 2-0 up, and they've squandered that, albeit they had 10 men. And the level of celebration didn't match what they'd done for me, and I found it a bit weird. It felt weird.
Are we still on the goal at Chelsea? Or
no, we're on the celebrations last night. Well, yeah, that's another factor, isn't it?
It's just a very maybe that's Chesterfield. Maybe they just can't judge the size of a celebration in Chesterfield. So maybe if they do win the league and go up, they'll just be like. Just go totally the other way, just to annoy you.
Maybe.
Maybe they're petty and vindictive like me, and they just do things to annoy you. Maybe they'll like me.
But it's in a way as well. Having slept on it, it's a bit. It's like a compliment to us. You know, they've come here. They've come to our place and they've managed to eke out a point. Yeah,
and we want to keep that in the memory banks for the end of the season and enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm still more worried about Bournemouth than Chesterfield, especially having watched Bournemouth at Bournemouth that weekend. Yeah, I think Bournemouth are going to be right up for it now.
They've got a rough spell of games coming up though. And Rapid as well. I think I was looking. They've got 5 games in 14 days now from after Saturday. So I think they got Wrexham in the trophy Saturday, and then including that is 5 games in 14 days. Not necessarily all tough ones, but
I think everyone else seems to have their hard games. Everyone else has got the hard games like spread out, whereas we've got that awful running where you just think, oh, in terms of like going out on the piss and stuff, it's a great running. But in terms of like wanting to be relaxed, watching some county action, not happening, is it?
No.
When did it ever though?
No.
Just a point on Boreham Wood as well. They, I think they could only name 5 subs in the FA Cup. I know they beat Bournemouth, which is a great achievement. You know, not taking that away. But they only named 5 subs, so I think they're a bit thin on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's going to play a factor.
It is open because we said the same about Sutton last season.
Yeah.
And they still lost it. Yeah, it's a shame.
But Sutton weren't competing in FA Cups and things, were they? They were pretty clear.
Not with that attitude, they weren't. No. Yeah, they were
out
early on.
I think Boreham Wood. It's these 5 games, and then they go to Everton as well, which of course that's now their big one where they will take a couple of 100.
Yeah. They'll find from somewhere.
Yeah.
Anything more on the Chesterfield match? Anything more? Anything to point out?
Is it well on the officials?
Go on. Sorry, go on.
The fact that Chesterfield fans also laying into the officials kind of suggests that they just had a terrible game all round. I think
out of their depth.
Yeah.
Out of their depth.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. And that referee's going to be a 4th official in League 2 this weekend. So, ooh.
Wow.
I don't know how. Well, it might not be now.
What do you think of Shimanga, guys? Yeah.
Yeah. He's just probably one of the best players we've played at this level.
I'd just say, I thought he was outstanding last night.
Him and Vardy are probably the best 2 strikers we've come up against in non-league, I think. Shimanga and Vardy.
That was the blessing of the red card that they then only had Shimanga up front.
That's to isolate him.
He did tire, and we isolated him and nullified. Going back to the Ryan Johnson thing, I was pleased to see him outpace him, albeit 80-odd minute at the end there, down towards the corner flag, because my concern with Ryan Johnson was, he's not going to win that one. Oh, he has. So nice. There we go. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they are a good team. They are a good team, but there's others there as well. We're gonna play. I mean, they're the best we've played, I would say. I don't know if you agree with that, but I think some of the others are going to be in and around that as well. So plenty to play for. It's too early to call anything, you know. But I wanted to ask you actually before the match, was you thinking it was a must not lose?
Yeah.
Or a must win?
Yeah.
Must not lose.
Must not lose for me, yeah.
Even more so at half time, but I was then thinking, how are we going to not lose it? And somehow we got out of it.
And I'd imagine Chesterfield were the same. They would have seen it as a must not lose as well. So fair result. All right. Game of 2 halves.
Yes.
If we want to play cliche bingo. A lot of bingo references tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a full house.
Oh, love that. You've just called the full house on the bingo. That's just won you the line. Nothing to do with what you were saying before, Nick. Different. Bingo line.
Can't read my own writing nowadays. What's it coming to?
So we look forward to Cheshunt on Saturday in the FA Trophy.
Yeah, we've got a little.
We've got a little video to play. I spoke earlier in the week to Henri Jackson from the Cheshunt Ultras, and if my index finger works correctly, we should be able to play that in a second. Let me just get it lined up so that I don't mess things up. Right, and then we've got a bit of a break, so enjoy this little video, and we'll be back straight after it. So this part of the show was going to do a bit of a preview. Saturday's FA Trophy match against Cheshunt. Have I got that? Have I said that right?
Cheshunt. Yeah. Well,
Cheshunt.
Yeah, it's along them lines. So
yeah, no, it's my northern accent that's doing it. You see. So welcome Henri from Cheshunt. Who I take it you're coming to the game on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, with the Cheshunt Ultras.
Yeah, bit tongue in cheek, but yeah.
No, we'll come to that later because I think it's worth having a chat about that. So first, Henri, tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to follow Cheshunt, because I think you're a Spurs season ticket holder, aren't you?
Yeah, so I got a season ticket at Tottenham. I've had one for about 3 years. I started going Cheshunt probably about 5 years ago. I've loved it ever since. First game, I fell in love with the club. Like obviously, I said to you the other day. It beats sort of the buzz I get at Cheshunt's the best. Like it beats anything I've ever experienced at Tottenham.
Right, and is that just down to being you're closer to the pitch? You can probably drink beer at the side. You know the people at the club, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I just love it. I love the way you can interact with the players. I've met a core group of my friends I've met through this club. We go to every single game. Like it's my local team. I live 5 minutes from the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good. How far do you live from the new Spurs stadium then?
20-minute drive.
Right.
It's not far. Chesunt's just outside of North London, so it's not too far.
Right.
10-minute train journey.
Good stuff. I think there is there's a lot of love for lower league football, isn't there? We've experienced that in the National League North. We've been to places that that quite frankly, we county, we don't really want to go back, but we have our local teams as well where a lot of people go to. And there is a place for that. Good stuff. So tell us about Cheshunt then, about the club, its size, what division you play in, and how your season's going so far, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, we're just outside of North London in Hertfordshire. The size of the club, obviously, compared to you, it's not that big. You probably never heard of us before, but yeah, in terms of the league season, it's been up and down. Started off a bit shaky, then we went on a 16-game unbeaten run.
Nice.
Yeah, that came to an end at the start of this year. So this year it's been a bit shaky, but obviously we beat St Albans 3-0 in the previous round. I think we've won 5 games to get here, including a penalty shootout against our rivals in the round before St Albans. So obviously it's no secret that this is a massive game for us. It's probably one of the biggest in the history of the club. So obviously we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, the team we played in the last round, it was the biggest game in their club's history as well. And
yeah, I saw their support. It looked quite good, to be fair.
Yeah, it was. They brought a few, which was nice. And I guess you guys, you're going to bring a few as well. And we do tend to treat the away teams that come in, the lower league teams really, really well that come just because we know what it's like. We're not sort of above ourselves in that respect. So St Albans, so what division are they in? The same division as you then, or are they a bit higher?
Yeah, they're National South, so just below.
I was going to say, yeah.
We beat them 3-0 quite convincingly, to be fair. So really, really pleased with that one, and we actually beat Chelmsford as well. We were in the National South to get it, so that was obviously a good achievement as well.
Okay, so that changes things slightly for me because I didn't know that you'd been in those two. We're kind of on this show. We're kind of renowned for not really doing our research, so apologies for that.
That's why I'm here.
Exactly, yeah. So Right, so that changes things slightly because obviously we're in the National League. We've only just come up from the National League North. I mean, things have changed for us massively over the past couple of years. Loads of investment, so we are top of the National League at the moment. Fingers crossed when this goes out, we're still top of the National League. So I mean, it's no mean feat. So how many divisions below National League South are you? Is it one or two?
Just one.
Ah, right.
It should be in Premier League.
Right. Yeah.
So if we're promoted, we'd be in the South.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So that changes things slightly, and it probably changes. I'm probably thinking that as people are watching this, their eyebrows are raising as county fans, thinking, "Well, hang on a minute."
To be fair, when we drew St Albans, they thought it would be an easy game. I was looking on Twitter, and then they saw we was in the process of a 16-game unbeaten run, and they were getting a bit wary. But obviously, that's all over and done with now, and film goes out the window in the cup. But hopefully, we're all hoping you play a weekend side. Obviously, you've got two massive games either side of our game, so that's our main thing for us.
Yeah. So what's the 16? Obviously, 16-game unbeaten run at any levels, like superb, isn't it? What's been the factor of that? Have you still got that core of players together?
Yeah, it's the same squad. I think the main factor of that is the togetherness within the squad, because obviously we all have a drink with them after the game, and they all get along. They treat us as their mates. We treat them as our mates, and we're all together as a club. Like, I really think it's one of a kind what our club is. I know it's on the outside. It's hard to see that in, but that's what we see, and a lot of the players and staff feel that way as well.
Yeah, and when you balance that on the disconnection you probably feel from like Harry Kane, and all that kind of stuff, that it's just like miles apart, isn't it? Yeah. We're kind. Right. Yeah, I mean we're kind of in the middle. Players are accessible to us, but they're starting not to be, because we're starting to go up the leagues, and that's totally get it. So players to look out for then on Saturday for you lads. Who are we looking at?
You may have heard of the name Rowan Libbard. He played in National League North most of his career, I'd say. Ex-Football League, Stevenage and Reading.
Right.
He's our big striker, number 9. On loan from Billericay, he's got probably about 12 goals in 12 games, or something like that. So that he was a big factor in the unbeaten run. Our goalie's probably one of the best. I know it's easy to say, but he's probably one of the best in the league at this current moment in time. Pulled off a few worldies Saturday. And our centre-back, Adam Crowther, I'd say he's probably one of the best in the league, to be honest with you. But obviously, there's levels there between us and you. But these players could play league above, in my opinion.
Right, yeah. So that takes them into National League South, which is only one division from us. So it's probably going to be closer than we think, especially if we play. I wouldn't say a weakened team. We've got a really we've got a big squad that's got a lot of depth in it. But we'll probably, I guess, we'll rest a few.
That's what we're hoping for anyway.
Yeah, and I guess if you're, you say your big striker, if he starts standing on people's feet and elbowing and that sort of stuff,
the dark arts of the game.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, our lads they're probably used to that. I think the higher up you go, it becomes less and less.
Yeah.
Do you know what we just to point something out? We've had a couple of loan players on this season, and they're just not used to, like under 23s from Premier League teams, and they're just not used to the dark, what you call the dark arts. So because
you're right.
They're all playing
on all the academy tippy tappy.
Yeah, playing it sideways. Well, you'll know better than most, being a Spurs fan as well. Cool, right? So tell us about the Cheshunt Ultras then. What's that all about? It sounds pretty good.
Like I said, it's just a tongue-in-cheek name for our fan base, to be honest with you. So obviously, I mentioned earlier, I met a group of lads. We've all now great friends with them. We go to every game, home and away. Like we love it. All support Tottenham, Arsenal, but obviously we've come disconnected with them clubs, and now we just love Cheshunt so much that I'd go as far as to say Cheshunt are probably my first team.
Right.
But yes, we're not obviously ultras like what you get abroad or whatever. we just go and make some noise, and I'm sure you've got a great fan base as well. I've not seen much of it, but see, I know you take a lot away and stuff. So Yeah, that's all it is, really, just the name for the fan base.
Yeah, I think when it was first tweeted about, I think Cheshunt Ultras first tweeted, there was a lot of people on Twitter from our fan base, well, taking the piss for want of a better word.
Yeah.
But then I think
so,
yeah, well, they're going to, aren't they? But it's nice that it's it's kind of not tongue in cheek, is it? But you've got a core fan base there that tried to make an atmosphere, and that's exactly what we try to do. We've got our lads that do that. So hats off to you.
We go every game. We sing for 90 minutes, and then we have a drink after with the players. So like, what more could you really want to go when you go over the football?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when you come to Edgeley Park as well, you'll be in the block that's in we call it the pop side, but it's the family stand, together stand, whatever you want to call it. But there's got a good roof on there, so you'll be able to generate quite a lot of noise.
I've had a little look at that. Yeah. It should be good.
Hopefully, we don't put you in the railway end because the noise just gets lost.
Where's that? The one behind the goal?
Yeah.
No, we've bought our tickets in block 5 and 4 on the side.
Right. So So you'll be under that roof. That'll be good for you. How many is expecting to come?
I had a look. I counted all the little dots the other day. It's around 200 we've sold. We've got 3 coaches going up. And obviously there's more to be bought on the day, hopefully. So I'm hoping for 250. I'm hoping for, which is probably the same amount we get at our home games. So that's for a club of, from what I was seeing 5 years ago, from 6 people behind the goal when we was league below playing against Hertford Town, and now we're bringing 250 away to a National League club who have history in the Football League. It's unbelievable, to be honest with you. I'm just so proud of the club and how far it's come.
You should be. It's magnificent. I was going to say, you've counted all the dots. We've got people that count our dots as well at our end. But 200, 250, that's more than some National League clubs bring.
Yeah, I was having a look at your attendances. It was like 59 away or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no secret. Like I said before, it's a massive game. So obviously, we will take that many. But to have a bigger away support than National League clubs is an honour, to be honest.
Yeah, fair play. And finally, then, score predictions. What do you think?
Obviously, it's going to be a very tough game, but I think you probably expect me to say 1-0, a smash and grab.
Well, I'll go with whatever you want. I'm not bothered.
I'll take a 1-0 smash and grab win. Rowan Libbard.
Fair enough. I'll go 3-1. I'll go 3-1 to us. But do you know what? If we do, just to mention something, if we do play that sort of second string team with some youngsters, we only just edged past Nantwich.
Oh really? Yeah, they're same level as us.
Yeah, so we only just edged past them in the Cheshire Cup.
Oh, okay.
So we only just beat them 2-1 at their place. So it sounds like if we do play a weakened team, that the gap starts to narrow, and it could be. Well,
it's a different situation. It's 3 games off of Wembley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know how many are you expecting to have over there? Couple thousand.
No. We'll probably be 3,000 or 4,000, I would say.
Yeah, well, that's great. Like, the only thing I've ever experienced to this is when we played Maidstone away a couple of years ago, and we had a little away end. But obviously they weren't too interested. It was FA Cup qualifying. Their main fans probably weren't there. So obviously, if it's a chance at Wembley and you're on a good run, hopefully you get a lot over there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing going for us, really. I say we might play a second string team. You might just go full first team because he wants to keep momentum going for the league. So, good stuff.
No, that's fair enough.
Right, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on. Appreciate it.
No problem at all. And good luck on Saturday.
Yeah, all the best. I don't think you'll need it, but all the best.
No. You never know.
You never know.
It's the cup, innit? All right. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
He's good, isn't he?
There we go. Back in the room. Yeah, he was good. He was a good value.
No, I meant the reporter fella, the interviewer. Get him on again, him.
But yeah, just a massive thank you to Henri for taking his time out in the week to to do that. It was really appreciated. And hopefully there are some Cheshunt fans watching this and enjoying that. So yeah, cheers for that. So yeah, Saturday, Cheshunt in the cup. Are we still aiming to win it, Nick? Yeah, still prioritising it, aiming to win it.
Aiming to win every game, mate.
Mark, what are your thoughts on the FA Trophy?
Yeah, I want to win it. I want to go all the way to Wembley. I want to have a party at Wembley a week after winning the league. It's all the dream, isn't it? You know.
He gets it.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been to the previous games, and we just look like we're taking it seriously. Post-match Challenger last night saying that he'll pick a team of players who think they should be playing in the first team. So it sounds like it's going to be a relatively strong team. You can see the ones who
me up front
bring height to the equation, Nick. If nothing else, you know.
Yeah.
Can't do anything with the height. And as soon as I land from a jump, my knees will buckle. So you'll get about 2.5 minutes out of me.
Like a giraffe landing.
Yeah. Like one of them, you know, when you go to the zoo, the gift shop in the zoo, and there's the little thing of a giraffe and you press it and they just go.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me playing football.
Giraffes eat onions, you know. It's their diet.
They?
Yeah. The zoo in the Lake District found that out. Just thought I'd drop that in there.
We need to get a little clip of factoid of the week, or whenever anyone says something like that, we can just put it and go like a Harry Hill kind of thing.
Marvelous.
The list.
yeah, the list of things to do.
We had Phil Lloyd says I'd play Quigley on Saturday, try and get him back in the goals. I wouldn't put him in the goals. I'd go for Ben or Ethan Ross.
Hey! But no, he makes a good point. He's not scored in 7 matches now? Not since Boxing Day, I don't think.
Yeah, and there's a few of the forward sort of players cup tied, isn't the newbies cup tied, Melanie Kelly's cup tied, so Connor Jennings will obviously be in there, but I can see him starting with one of the others.
Well, before Saturday's game, Crankshaw will be starting, you'd imagine, because he's been the impact sub for a while.
Ben
now,
Whitfield back as well. That could be in it.
Yeah,
a good one. Yeah.
Could be his comeback. Well, prior to that game on Saturday, Jonathan the Geordie Hatter has just informed us he's back with his away day show. But it's not an away game, I hear you ask. He doesn't care. He just doesn't. He's out of control. This is what happens. So it's across the banner at the bottom. So just go on the Mixer app, and it is there from 9:30. Music and county chat. What's not to like? Unless you don't like some of the music, but. That's not our problem. No, definitely not my problem. I'm just advertising. Leave me alone.
What if they don't like the county chat?
Well, then
they wouldn't be here, really, would they?
No.
Maybe they should go and listen to one of the other million shows that do like an hour and a half of county chat a week. Oh, wait, there aren't any. Stuck with us. Sorry.
Right, let's move on. Should we move on to academy talk? We've got another thing for this. Look,
word!
I want for everything. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So, academy then, Mark. So, your lad plays for the academy, but before we get into anything about that, can you just give us a brief overview of the structure? Because we've talked about it before, and then I got a message from one of the academy guys, and he explained it in written form, and I read it, and I was like, I still don't kind of understand. So can you, for me and for everybody else, can you just explain that to us?
Of course I will. So there's two main teams that they do push out a little bit more on social media than any others, and if we were to go to an EFL formal academy structure, they would make up the nucleus, as things stand, you would guess, of the kind of ring-fenced, contracted academy players. sitting not below necessarily, but sort of supporting that structure is then a number of development squads. I think there's around about 6 development squads, not necessarily teams, talking sort of training squads, which is quite a lot. If you compare that, some of the guys who what you'll know, kind of say a Rochdale model where they've got an academy and then they have a development centre. That would be our similarity, if you like. So we're talking the sort of 16 to 19-year-olds as well in this. We're talking that sort of youth team age. There is a junior academy, which I'll mention by all means in a second. So there's those 2 teams. One competes, they both compete in the National League Elite Youth Alliance. So it's the National League's version of academy structure. So they are competing against your Chorleys, your Guisleys, your Altringhams and so on, York City, Bradford Park Avenue, been fixtures today, for example. The second year's team, which for old money is upper 6th in terms of 6th form, they play in the top division, which is split north and south. And then the first year's squad play in the H division. And basically all the divisions outside those top 2 are just very regional. So they play, sort of very much northwest teams rather than just north. And it was that second year's team that went quite a long way in the Youth Cup and beating likes of South Shields, Hyde, and Prestwich, before losing at Northampton the same night that we beat Bolton at Edgeley Park, much to my eldest son's disgust that he was sat on a bench in Northampton.
Yeah, I can imagine.
As you can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the way I was celebrating after that game, I wouldn't have been surprised if I ended up on a bench somewhere.
In Northampton.
I was a state.
Yeah. Okay, so go on then. Where does your I don't you tell everybody where your lad plays and
well, I don't want to make it about him, but he plays currently in the first year's squad. He's a goalkeeper in the first year's squad. He has spent most of the season with the second year's squad. Wasn't getting as much game time as he'd wanted, so at Christmas a decision was made that he would drop that down to his own age group, and he's been getting a bit more game time under the stewardship of Mr. Michael Rains, which is very nice to have a county legend in charge of your son's team. Ollie himself used to play for Rochdale's Academy under, Rainsy won't mind me saying, a slightly bigger county legend, Mr. Michael Flynn. So he's racking up the county legends as coaches, so that's nice. Nice. Yeah, so he's a goalkeeper for the first years, sharing a bit of game time at the moment. The lad who's the second year keeper doing really well. He was on the bench for the Nantwich game, Dan Harrison. And there's some great quality in the goalkeeping department. They've all, I think those 2, my lad Dan and a couple of others have all been in with the first team, training with Ben and Ethan and Josh Schofield, who some might know is kind of third choice keeper. You might see him warming up with the lads on a match day, certainly a midweek match day, because he's on loan at Stockport County at the moment. So that's the goalkeeping setup. And I was quite pleased that he was played a reasonable part in Connor Jennings' initial return to fitness, because he came in and worked with him on sort of one-to-one shooting practices and things like that. So, yeah, he'll take a tiny bit of credit, I'm sure. And I'll stop talking about him now because he'll hate this.
No, fair play.
Well, we've had a few when we've spoken to players on air, they've all been unanimous in one thing: is that goalkeepers are just a different breed. So at what point did you start seeing that sort of deviant behaviour in your son?
he's a different breed of goalkeeper. He's all sensible. He's kind of studious and sensible. Yeah. Don't know, but he's been playing goal since he was about 8 or 9. Yeah. Good lad. Good stuff.
Quality.
Doing well. But a lot of competition in that academy at the moment. Some lot of talent. And it's good to see that the new gaffer is probably embracing it even more than the previous gaffer who came from an academy.
Yeah. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. He wanted to sign everyone else's academy players on loan.
Yeah.
Dick swinging, I think we call it, isn't it, Nick? Yeah.
That's the one. Well, it's weird. The kind of managers either side of Rusk have been big like proponents of the academy, both Gannon and Challoner. And then it's a very weird. The fact that one of them was an academy manager and just it's mad that. Another little footnote in the banter years there.
But it's nice seeing the lads, the academy lads getting chosen to go and train with the first team.
It is, and they're well received. They're really well looked after when they go in there. They come away absolutely buzzing. I mean, Ollie's a county fan. He's had a season ticket since Gary Ablett's season, so he's seen some tragic times, and he's buzzing whenever he goes in there. He's been in a few times, and absolutely loves it when he gets invited in. As do all the lads, and they really are just treated brilliantly by the players. This is why a few weeks ago you might have seen I put a comment on the old Facebook post when John Rooney left about this egos thing, because there just isn't. There really isn't egos in that. Yeah, they come across as proper sound lads, all the players, genuinely.
So we saw the Inside County video the other day, and when Miles Hippolyte was being shown towards the canteen, I couldn't help but notice there was young lads in there. Is that where they train? Is that where they're housed in Carrington?
No. The U team or the academy is all now pretty much 99% based out of Stockport Sports Village, Woodford Sports as was, which is amazing that they got that facility, and they basically have that to themselves all day. So they have pretty much the run of the pitches. So the main pitch, the bottom pitch that's 11-a-side, all the other ones, they've got the run of the gym, all the classrooms for their education is there. If they were able to put a Stockport County sign over the top of the Life Leisure one, that would be genuinely academy on the level of not quite your Cities Uniteds, but definitely sort of up towards your Blackburns, your Burnleys, and so on. It's that amazing to have that facility for those guys. So the Stockport Sports Village has been an amazing element of it, particularly, I say, having their education there as well. So they do their 2-year BTEC course, BTEC level 3 sports coaching development alongside the playing. So it's literally train half a day, education half a day, and 1 day is dedicated to matches. Wednesday is the match day for some of the squads, Fridays for others. Some of you might have seen the social media about Derby Day the other week. That was 2 of the development squads that sit just slightly below, taking on each other in an actual league match, but they happen to play in the same division of the same league. So, that was Turnbull versus Reigns to keep the gods of Stockport County past. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it's a shame it's in the day. I'd like to go and see that. I'm obviously working in the daytime, but they're always like, is it 12 o'clock kickoff or something?
Usually around then. Yeah, today's was 1 o'clock for the first years up at Woodley, and they won 4-1 against Bradford Park Avenue with 10 men.
So let's look at that then. So the first years, if we look at the table of the first years, and you can tell us how the season's going, and it's looking pretty good. But you can tell us how, and then we'll move on to the second year. So the first years, then, if I can again get this thing right, this is really good, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Can you see that?
Here we go. It's coming. Yeah, so that's the first years. That's your lower sixth form for old money, if you like. Purely made up of first years. Some of the other teams in that division have for second years in there, and some even have 19-year-olds and so on. Altrincham is basically a 19s and 18s team. Rochdale's is their development centre. I think it's one of their lower teams. Yeah, they've beaten Bradford today. Obviously, you can see that wasn't maybe the greatest feat, but played an hour with 10 men. So it was decent, that, and a good result. And they lost a couple of weeks ago to Altrincham, which was a tough one to take. But Altrincham dropped points today against City of Liverpool, who are like the south end of the division at the moment. They're coming into a bit of form. So maybe that'll take off. But yeah, the first years, those who were at Nantwich would have seen a bench, and they were all first years. So the two who came on and the two who didn't, all first year players, so all 16, 17 years old. Cody Johnson, Keane Barra, who made actually a really big impact, those who were at Nantwich last week, genuinely. Cody Johnson especially probably changed the game a little bit with his composure in midfield, and Keane got an assist as well for one of Alex Reed's goals.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there's some great players in the first year team, and obviously got them for at least another year. Might have for longer if we go up and they can put them on contracts and things. And that's one of the problems that Dave Challoner mentioned when he first came in, that he was really worried about losing talent to other teams, because at the moment somebody can literally come in and just pick them off, because the only thing that ties them to Stockport County is really their education, not the football side at the moment, because we're not in the league.
Yeah, interesting. And yeah, that going up, it's almost like, not just for us fans in terms of the quality of football we watch, but there's so much that surrounds it, isn't there? Getting into the Football League and the benefits of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's large amounts of money that's suddenly coming in grants for academy and the professional side of it, and the senior teams. So there's a financial incentive. Obviously, there's the TV money at the top level and so on, but I say there's quite a sizable grant that goes into the academies. That at the moment, the only money they're really bringing in is probably grants for the education side of it. And bear in mind the number of lads they've got there at the moment, that's probably costing them it's a lost leader at the moment, I'm sure.
Yeah. So these lads, so just humour me for a second. These lads, do they have to pay subs, or is it?
No. It's the education is obviously funded, and they don't pay any subs. You pay for your kit, which bearing in mind you train 4 times a week. Be good if you paid for your washing machine as well. Particularly goalkeepers. But no, and that would be another angle. If they went into the EFL and they became a Cat 3 academy, EFL scholars, so this would be largely just the top teams, probably, realistically, the first years that are, and maybe a few beyond that, they suddenly go on to earn money from the game at that as well as scholars. I think it's somewhere in the region of about £600 a month. If somebody said, here's £600, just turn up and play football and do a bit of education when you're 16, 17, I think most people would take that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think
so. But they have to be at a good standard to make that cut, because that's going to be, the so-called elite players that would be going to that squad. I think squads for EFL academies are limited at around about, it might be 20, it might be a bit more. So it's obviously not going to be all of them suddenly picking up the money, which shouldn't be a factor.
No,
but it is.
No, it shouldn't. Well, it's all part of Mark Stott's grand plan, isn't it? To not let the Phil Fodens of this world, who are in our catchment area, in our direct catchment area, slip through our net.
Yeah, it's gone on too long, that.
Yeah, and even if we can get them for some time before they're snatched off us, at least we'll get some money for them then. And I think that's really key. I think if you think of the last really good youth players that came through, is it probably? I don't want to like talk down on them, but is it not Reigns and Turnbull?
Well, you could Festus recently. But he came from elsewhere, and then in Jack Hinchy, obviously we made some money on when we sold him to Brighton. early season. He came
through
initially the Alan Lord era, and then the current academy setup with Damien Allen and Rains and Turnbull, Mike Jeffries, and so on at the helm now. With that, with Damien Allen at the top.
But I guess what I'm saying is, and I might be completely wrong. I usually am, but the Alan Lord school kind of thing was always a dotted line to County. It wasn't actually part of any academy that we owned and we ran.
Absolutely.
Whereas I think back in the day, I think they were a proper academy that came through.
It was the old school centre of excellence. And you're right. It would have been going back to Turnbull. Prior to that, Adam Lafondra. You could argue Pilkington to a degree, but he was picked up from elsewhere and sort of brought in via that. Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Ryan Crowther, last seen escaping from a petrol forecourt somewhere in the Liverpool area. Look it up.
We've had our fair share of
wrong-uns.
Wrong-uns, I guess. Yeah. But it's really good to see the players coming through and making debuts and things and coming on. And the lad, was it Hopwood? Was it Hopwood who came on? Who played Hopkins? Who played really well at centre half? Have I got that right?
Oh, Scott Holding.
Holding, that's it. Yeah.
So the second years, which if you want to try and put the league table up, well, I'll maybe just quickly mention about the second years. The second years is the slightly more senior team. So they're the upper sixth, if you like. They're the ones that tell you where you can sit in the common room and so on, and control the record, the DJ sets and that. The reason they're not doing quite as well in the league, perhaps, is because a lot of them are on loan at other teams. So as some will know, there's quite a lot on loan at Stockport Town, as well as maybe one or two elsewhere. So they probably don't play as many games with their full strength team as maybe the first years do at the moment. And that is your Scott Holdings, your Josh Edwards, Cody Johnson's playing up for the second years, as is Keane Barrow, who came on last week at Nantwich, those two. And then out at Stockport Town, if you've got Toby Green, who was had a fantastic game in the Hyde match that I know a lot of people may have seen. He was the guy who scored a couple against Hyde in the Youth Cup game. It's worth pointing out that a lot of these lads in these top two teams, I don't like talking about that because the development squads are really rich with talent as well. But a lot of these are lads who were at academies elsewhere and have come to County at age 16, having been released by your Oldhams, your Rochdales, your Boltons, some a few years back with Bury and so on. So Scott Holding, fantastic talent, as people are starting to see. Josh Edwards, left back, left wing back, another great talent. And then there's a number of others, Kai Johnson, a right back, Jamie Walsh, a striker, all these really doing well. And it's worth pointing out that still at young age, you've got Ethan Pye, who is not an academy player, but he's a young player. Melanie Calley, Lewis Earle, Luke Knock, who's on loan at Glossop at the moment, who came on both at Macclesfield and started at Nantwich in the Cheshire Cup. And Josh Schofield, who I say is the third choice keeper for County at the moment, you could argue, who's on loan at Stockport Town with a number of others. So it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And, the signs are there for a very, very good academy structure, which could be even better to some degree with the EFL. There are a few downsides to going to the EFL. You have to suddenly pick 20 players who you're going to use pretty much all the time rather than being able to promote people from these development squads. So the ring fencing doesn't always suit. And you maybe game structure, you suddenly can't organise a game, against Cheadle Nomad senior team to give them a taste of a bruising encounter or a Cheadle Town or Stockport Georgians and things like that, which is current part of the game programme. So there is an angle that Michael Rains still talks about, that he would sometimes rather see them have that wider spectrum of games rather than, as the Cheshunt guy talked about with the Tottenham Academy, tippy-tappy football of academies. So there you go, guys. That's kind of how it works. There's the youth academy, which comes the young academy, junior academy that comes in under that, age 8 up to 16, which is just starting to get off the ground this season. And again, we'll form a formal EFL academy should we make that magical step.
Oh, I love all that, mate. I'm a romantic when it comes to the young lads. Ah. When it comes to the academy,
let's not forget to mention the county Colts as well, which is the key.
Yeah,
it's sort of like the it's not the community, is it? It's like
grassroots.
Yeah, grassroots.
Yeah.
Playing for fun.
So they play a lot of games in the East Manchester League.
Yeah.
In there, some strong teams, but they also have teams at the slightly lower levels in the East Manchester as well. So it's a bit more of a hub that is a bit more for the grassroots level, that then the better players feed into the junior academy, who would then feed into the senior academy at sixth form type ages. So, but I think I've just seen a few comments just very quick. Yeah, the top of the academy tree in terms of staff is Damien Allen, who's the head of the academy. And then you got Mike Jeffries, who's the manager of the second years, Michael Rains, who's manager of the first years, and then like Paul Turnbull and all the other coaches, Tony Coyne and so on, run a development team each, basically. So, busy times, but they all get involved, and it's brilliant. If anyone has the pleasure of driving, and I use the word pleasure to genuinely say it, pleasure of driving through Woodley at around about 8:30, 8:45 any morning of the week, there is a blue swarm of county academy heading up the road as they leave the train station, the buses and so on. And it's, it's for the romantics, Nick, I tell you. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Can't be a young local lad coming through to make his debut.
Yeah.
Great, makes you feel all warm inside. Yeah. It's like a Hovis advert.
Yeah. So, it's great. And I really appreciate having a chance to be excited about it. And come on here and just talk about it, because massive county fan. So I'm a romantic. I want to see that as well.
Yeah.
So it's amazing times for all levels.
Good stuff. That's done it for me. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Will you come back on in a later date and give us maybe an update?
I would absolutely love to come back on. Yeah, I'd love to come back on, give you an update and see where things have got to. Yeah, brilliant.
Good stuff. I say that a lot of good stuff. Someone pointed it out before. It was Joe.
Yeah, it's definitely on the Russ bingo. Yeah,
it's on the bingo.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, so we do a bit of admin before we go.
Let's.
Loads of people. We have a bit of a surge in Fan Hub app sign-ups, but people keep on signing up to it, keep on checking in, all that sort of stuff. I saw a woman with a Fan Hub app bobble hat. That's really hard to say, by the way.
It's all right, for someone I can't win one for love nor money.
I've got one. I won one.
Oh, did you? Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah, I've won one.
Nice.
That's my. I'm on a lucky county bobble app. I should actually point that out. Didn't have it on first half last night. Too hot. My head was sweating. Put it on half time. Realised the error of my ways. It's not coming off the rest of the season now, is it?
Happy days.
April with a bobble hat on. Get it? So the Fan Hub one's sort of the weekend bobble hat when I'm not at county now. It's
Yeah, good. There's a Stockport programme and memorabilia fair on at some point. I should really know when it is, because I did get asked to do that. Rubbish at this. It's because I'm so busy during the day, honestly. People think I don't do anything during the day. I do, there we go. Yeah, it is on Sunday, the 6th of March at Edgeley Park, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. £1 entry. Under 16s go free. Full of badges, shirts, programmes, that sort of stuff. So that's doing the rounds on Twitter. So stick that in your diaries.
The kind of stuff that if you brought it home, your missus would say, "What have you bought that for?"
Yeah.
That's what you should put on the posters for these events.
But
I'm not allowed to go to them.
If you collect shirts or you collect badges, then it might be the place for you.
Yeah.
Also, coming up for us, we have the kids show. So the lads will be back, hopefully recording tomorrow, and we'll get that out as soon as we can. I think they want to record it because my lad is dying to boil his own piss about Chesterfield because he got really into it last night. He was really angry. We've got a live show coming up in March. Are we allowed to say anything about that, Nick?
No, tune in next week and it all will be revealed.
Okay. But we have got another live show lined
up.
Yeah,
live show. It's going to be in March. So just don't book anything for the whole of March, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to start a new feature. I wanted to call it Our OnlyFans. I'm not sure that works. But
no one wants to see that.
Showcasing, and we'll open this up to everybody, showcasing getting special shows where we talk to fans or family members of fans who have supported County for a long time, probably got loads of stories to tell about, away days back in the day and things like that. So we'll start doing that. We've got the first one lined up, just got to plan it in and we'll get that out. And then we'll open it up to everybody else. And yes, and just to recap, don't forget Geordie Hatter's Away Day show on Saturday. Last thing is, everybody's asking, what's the album, Nick? I know what it is because I've got it.
It's the question on everybody's lips. That's the only reason I do this now.
Brilliant.
I only come, you
come with an intro and a vinyl record, and that's it. You sort of bookend each show, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I spend all Wednesday afternoon picking the vinyl out. Then, like a couple of minutes before we come on air, right in the intro, it's Led Zeppelin 1, 1969, which Russ also owns because he's got taste. Yeah.
I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 now.
I think I have as well. Yeah, but I've not got round to alphabetizing all my vinyl yet. So some of it's just everywhere. We've got these little things. We have these things on our vinyl shelf, little dividers.
Oh,
they put on. So it's like a record shop, can't it? It's like a record shop, but you can't buy anything.
Nice.
So yeah,
favorite Led Zepp song. Favorite Led Zepp track.
Black Dog. Black Dog. Yeah.
Mark,
Rock and Roll.
Not a Led Zepp fan, but I did appreciate Nick bringing Half Man Half Biscuit back to my thought process the other week.
Oh yes, I went to see them. It was glorious.
Yeah, my brother went and sent me the a few little snippets that the Fred Titmus. I think he mentioned Len Ganley stance and so on and things like that. Classics and all the football ones.
Because I'd never really, I was kind of always aware of them. Then I got really into them during lockdown. So it was my girlfriend's birthday as well, and I got us tickets. So she weren't happy, like going to see a band she didn't know for her birthday. As soon as the first thing she said when we walked into the Ritz was, "Fucking hell, it's a sausage fest in here." But it's men of a certain age who are into Half Man Half Biscuit. Men who can have like one pint on a night out and then can't have another. So there was no queue at the bar. It was brilliant. Like everyone had a pint when they got there, and then I just had the bar to myself for the whole night. It was stunning. So yeah, by the time the second half of the set came round, I was all over the place, all over. And then I had to go and see Idols on the Sunday as well. It was a tough weekend. Maybe that's why I'm so ill now.
Maybe. Burning the candle. HB, Harry, Stairway to Heaven, 100%. Mine's Immigration Song. Love that opening.
Oh, you mean the Immigrant Song?
The Immigrant Song, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I get it right, mate. I didn't want to do it. I feel like such a knobhead now.
I should have got it right, really. Favourite song, shouldn't I?
When we were at college and we all got into like Led Zeppelin and stuff, my mate Tom came in one day, like trying to show that he was like cool and everything. He comes and he's like, "Oh, I was listening to that Led Zeppelin last night," and we're like, "Oh right, were you?" He says, "Oh yeah, he's good, isn't he?"
Right, gents.
Left, Russ. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks. Thank you.
If you are watching on YouTube, please do subscribe and like the video. Do it now. Do it now, please. And if you're listening back on the audio, please follow on whatever audio player, podcast player you are listening to. And with that, I will bid you farewell. Bye.
This is the Scarf Bagara War, a Stockport County fan-created podcast, blog, YouTube live show and website. Find us at thescarfbagarawar.co.uk. For county fans, by county fans.